Oh my gosh, it has been so long since I have been in front of the camera. And it feels a little weird, I must say. So I wanted to do a sit down video before I actually release my vlog. So for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Tara. If you've seen any of my previous videos and that made you subscribe, you know that I work in clinical research as a clinical research associate. So most of my content has been surrounded around me traveling for work, me kind of telling you guys different things about clinical research, and also just me documenting my journey from not having a degree to now having a degree and now making over six figures, from going from making under $60,000 to now, like I said, making over six figures. And that has been my main subjects basically on my channel. But however, the last couple of vlogs, I've been trying to incorporate my life inside of it because I feel like I'm more than just clinical research, and sometimes it's kind of hard to navigate and incorporate something else, especially when people came to your channel for that one thing, you know, maybe trying to get that career advice on how to get into clinical research, or kind of following me and how I do things as a clinical research associate. But a lot of things that I felt like were not fair to you guys is because being in clinical research is being in the medical field. So a lot of things I could not share with you all. So taking you on site with me and actually letting you see me complete paperwork or letting you see me look through the binder. Yes, I was able to do like some B-roll. However, I had to make sure that I was so mindful not to make sure that I call any type of patient information, any type of clinic discussion. And that's when I made the conscious decision to separate myself from recording about clinical research. If you have any questions or concerns, you know, somebody can always comment, or they could private message me and I will respond. However, taking you guys on site with me is just too much of a risk for me as someone that's in corporate, as someone that's in healthcare, and as someone that has a 9-to-5 job. Does that make sense? But I still want to record. I still want to have some form of remembrance of how my journey is going. My journey has changed so much from 3 years ago when I first started YouTube to even now. Heck, a month ago, I wasn't in the same position that I am right now. And a lot of times we kind of shelter ourselves because it's like, oh, well, this video didn't get a lot of views, or this video didn't get any comments, or nobody viewed it. So it's kind of like you go into a shell, or at least for me, I went into a shell because I'm like, people that actually do content, you guys know, like, it takes hours to edit these videos, and it's like somebody need to view this. But I also, within the time of me not posting, and it's been about 7 months, I think, since I've actually posted a video. Within that time, I said, you know what, I'm going to do it for me. I'm going to have this document of how I progress within life, and it's going to be for me. Now, although I will share it on a platform such as YouTube, solely this is for me. So it doesn't matter if 0 people watch or 1 person watch. I have to find that it's for me. And when I came to understand that it's for me, it's like I enjoyed starting back to record, y'all. Like, I actually have been enjoying it. So I just wanted to come back on here and kind of like talk about that, but also give you guys an update. So I have been a clinical research associate for going on 3 years in October, and I always prayed, I said, by the time my son got to the next grade, I wanted to kind of transition away from traveling because I wanted to make sure that I was home with him more. So I had an opportunity that came up last year, October, that I applied for, and I never released this onto my YouTube, but I did not get the role. It was a misunderstanding. So at first, when I interviewed for the role, you know, they tell you you'll hear back from them. I got the notification saying, oh, good news, you've been accepted. However, it was a misunderstanding. I wasn't accepted. I didn't get the role. So fast forward to now 2024. In June, I went to DR and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna step out on faith and I'm just going to apply again for this role. So I applied, and the young lady, the recruiter, she reached out to me and I had an interview. I had the initial interview, and then I had the second interview. And so I was told that once again, they'll let me know as far as my start date. Well, in the meantime of me finding out recently that I did get the role and I would be transitioning over to another role within my company, another opportunity came to me um, from another company, but I would have had to leave my company. And this role right here, and it's so amazing because sometimes you think that the grass is greener on the other side and you see all of these perks, but it's like, okay, you have to be patient. You have to just think about, okay, is this the best move for you? Even though it was in the therapeutic area that I loved, even though it was going to give me the opportunity to grow more in another therapeutic area that I actually wanted to get experience in, I had to think about the whole entire picture. And I just said, Tara, just wait. Just wait. If this role that I recently just got accepted for and I'm going to start soon, if this role comes available, this role right here can change everything. It can allow you to be home with your family more. It can allow me to have better work-life balance. And it can allow me to start back being healthier. And I understand, like, people are like, well, Tara, why can't you be healthier, traveling? For me, it's hard. Like, I'd rather eat than starve or eat and have to find a grocery store. Like, if I get to a city at 11 o'clock at night, the stores are closed. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm just picking anything at that moment because I'm hungry. You get what I'm saying? So I wanted to have a better life than just traveling. Traveling is hard. Traveling is hard. Before I started traveling, I didn't realize how hard traveling was. I thought I was just going to fly to my sites, look over their documentation, making sure their documentation is good, and that's it. No, it's layovers, it's delays, it's you being introduced to different personalities, and some of those personalities are very rude. Some of those personalities are very rude, and you have to navigate all of that. And when you're navigating all of that, you're still having to do your 9 to 5, which is still an added stressor because you're trying to meet all of these timelines, right? So I turned down that role. I said, no. I said, if I know right now that I may have to travel more with this role and I'm already not, wanting to travel as much, it would make no sense. No sense for me to change companies and go over here, right? So I turned that down. And literally, y'all, when I turned that down, 2 days later, I got confirmation that I indeed would be starting this new position that I'm going to start in September. And when I tell you, oh my gosh, God is so good. So how does it look for me now that I'm kind of transitioning from traveling to being more so of a remote worker? So as a remote worker, I love that. It's just what it sounds like. It's remote. I'm not going to be traveling that much. But that also takes away a lot of my travel content, because a lot of my travel content consists of me traveling to different cities, different states for work. And although I know a lot of people came onto my channel to watch that, I'm interested to see, where life and how I'm going to be able to grow within this new role. So I personally will maybe mention my job occasionally. You'll never know, like, the name or the company, things of that nature. But I may say, hey, I'm checking a couple of emails, or hey, I have this to do, or I have a deadline, things of that nature. However, I won't be going into detail because it's just too risky. And I hope that you guys understand. And I hope anyone that's in healthcare or any certain type of field, never jeopardize your career, your actual career, for views. Does that make sense? And even if you're getting monetized off of YouTube or any social media, you have to remember that we as healthcare workers, or whatever entity of your corporate field that you're in, that we cannot disclose certain things. And even with me being as careful as I am, accidents can happen, and I don't want that accident to happen and to cause me to lose everything that I worked so hard for. So we're going to continue to do vlogs. You're going to continue to see days in my life. However, it's just going to look different. How is it going to look? I don't know. I am really going with the flow. I feel like every time I make a plan, every time I say this is going to happen, it changed. It changed. And it's like, you're going to go with whatever God tells you to do. I don't know where I'm going to be at next month. I don't know. But the thing is, I am going to take you guys on this journey with me, and I'm going to record. Some of my footage may be crisp. Some of my footage may be, however, we're getting the content out there, and we're going to have this as, you know, documentation, so that way I can look back on a year from now to say, Tara, do you know where you are now? Do you know where you are? And that's the thing. That's what I love about YouTube. I started off 2024 as an ophthalmic tech. Went to being a CTA, a clinical trial assistant. Then I went to being a CRA. From being a CRA 1, I switched to being a CRA 2, to now I'm going to being a site monitor 2. And I just can't tell y'all how blessed I am. I cannot tell y'all. I cannot tell y'all. I cannot tell y'all. But I hope that you guys continue to follow along with me and my journey. And let's just see where life takes us. But without further ado, I hope y'all have a great day, great night. And the next video you'll see after this is going to be my August vlog. Talk to you later.